still a couple people out here, but I guess they're gonna miss it.
Yeah, they blew it. Big time.
Up next, a very special moment with our very own Nick Cope.
Yeah. Thought I'd sing you fine folks a song real quick here, just for kicks. And some of you know this song already. Feel free to kick in on the chorus. If you don't know the song, you'll figure it out real quick. Everything sound loud? What? Well, skeletons and bones are always grinning, even stuck alone in a box 6 feet underground. And you might say that I'm crazy, but I know exactly why that is, 'cause I remember the sound. Oh, I remember the sound that night. My grandma's house used to be right next to the cemetery, and I would stay as a kid and look out at the graves at night. And on the night they buried a brand new body, I watched the dead come alive. They came right out of their graves at night, and I heard them sing la da 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 da. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. They'll sing la da 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 da. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. There's no use in looking for the unit of a soul. The body relaxes, the song takes control. It's time to come home. Well, I ran downstairs to tell my folks what happened, but they just sipped on their tea and said, what a creative young man. And if you think this kind of thing is impossible, then you just won't understand how I saw them all dance at night, and I heard them sing la da 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 da. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. They sing la da 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 da. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. There's no use in looking for the unit of a soul. The body relaxes, the song takes control. It's time to come home. Now I'm a grown-up man with a job and a family, and a smile on my face, though most people don't understand why. But once you realize the dead can still get down if they want, it makes you feel good to be alive. It feels so good to be alive, my friends. And I'll be singing la da 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 da. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. One more time. We'll sing la da 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 da. It's time to come home. It's time to come home. There's no use in looking for the unit of a soul. The body relaxes, the song takes control. It's time to come home. It's all about timing.
It's locked in.
Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Nick,
Yeah.
I think it's still disgusting when you're playing with your penis. So.
You're gonna have to get used to it, pal. That's all I do.
Biggest jealousy is not playing with yours. I'd like to play us in a little game, but I want to start us off with just a few questions. You, sir, have you ever enjoyed like game shows? You ever watched game shows growing up or recently?
Yes.
What was your favorite game show?
Wheel of Fortune.
Wheel of Fortune.
Mine too.
As a kid or like presently?
Yes.
I grew up being raised by my grandparents, so every night there was the Wheel of Fortune, Jeopardy, Double Trouble Hour. But back then, everyone seemed so happy with the job they had. Wheel of Fortune, Vanna White, Pat Sajak, they were pumped. They were amped. Vanna White would run around flipping those numbers, those letters, you know, like Pat Sajak, that's right. Well, do we have a B? There's a B, yeah. $300. Nowadays, they get up there and they are so bored with their job. Pat Sajak's just like, spin the wheel, please, just spin the wheel. I'm sorry, what's your name, Joe? Where are you from? Okay, excellent. Spin the wheel, please. Spin the wheel. What's the letter? R. Of course it's an R. It's always an R. Vanna, is there an R? And she just like looks over. No. Even if there is a letter, she doesn't even bother like flipping anymore. She just goes up. And switches over. And she's like, there it is. And for the final round, she doesn't even bother. People just guess letters and she just looks over and it lights up by themselves. She's like, way to go. I also feel like Wheel of Fortune has been losing money. Because back in the day, there was like one bankrupt spot, maybe a loser turn, like halfway through the game, mix it up. There was like 5 of those. But all the dollar amounts are the same as in like 1970. You spin the wheel, it's like $75. Whoa! Yes. Any other fans of game shows? No one watches game shows anymore? Reality TV only sort of counts.
I used to like Monty Hall.
Monty Hall is my favorite. Thank you, Ed. This is why we have you here. No, Monty Hall is Let's Make a Deal, which is the greatest game show for many reasons. For one, the formula, more than half the show was filmed from like over here. It's always fake. Well, this is bad.
Yeah, but which
The
door
camera's
do you
always
want?
facing the audience, and he was just like pointing at things on stage that were barely relevant. They just had 3 painted doors. 1, 2, 3. And he wouldn't even reference them half the time. He'd just come up to people and be like, hey, how about if I told you I'd trade $500 for that cap? And then whether or not he did it, he'd take the cap and he'd go to the next person. He'll trade you this cap for those pair of glasses. That was the game show. Let's make a deal. Let's just trade shit amongst each other. Until, of course, he would get evil and start, like, trying to mess you, like work you over. He'd come out with, like, a feather duster. He'd be like, hey, JD, how do you feel about a feather duster? Just tell me what your name is. Well, Jill. There you go, Jill, feather duster. How about, Jill, if I traded that feather duster for what's behind one of the doors, huh? What do you say? Do you want to keep the feather duster or do you want what's behind the doors? Show me what's behind door number 2. And door number 2 would open up and it'd be like this rickety old wagon that's like running down like a torn canvas. And we'd be like, hey, look at that, you traded a feather duster for a wagon. You must be thrilled, huh? What are the neighbors gonna say when you park it there? You have enough horses for that? That baby's like 2, maybe 3 horsepower on a good day. And Jill would look kind of upset, like, wagon? I should have put the feather duster. This was the 60s, she would probably stay at home way. Probably. Not that I'm saying that's right. I mean, we're losing focus here. Get the wagon and he say, look,